of the BFS 2024. Yesterday was a wonderful day with lots of wonderful fireside chats, thought-provoking panel discussions, and insightful views from different experts. We would now like to call on stage Singh Jaini, founder and CEO of the Digital Fifth, to kindly come on stage for an opening note.
Morning. Good morning. It's not easy to be early in out here, and I'm the buffer always, right? So I know this is an early crowd. People will start walking in. I just want quick feedback. How was the day yesterday? Yeah? How many of you attended yesterday as well? Oh, wow. So any quick feedback on, you met new guys, you saw new solutions, you also understood how leaders meet. And I'll be honest that while we have this forum, agenda is largely, okay, thank you. Agenda is largely to ensure that all of you get the real view rather than a very artificial view, because if you go online, you get to see some PR stuff and all of that. I think you would have seen a lot of people very, very candid in their approach, telling the truth as it is, and helping you and helping us. I mean, let me not use you, helping us to conceptualize our thoughts better, right? I think the whole intent of the event was like that. When we conceptualized the event, Bharat Fintech Summit, we basically thought always that we don't think from a Bharat perspective all the time, right? And for me, Bharat is not India and Bharat, okay? I think that's a different notion. Bharat is Bharat. Bharat is full Bharat, which means that we have to think innately for ourselves. India is not foreign Bharat, okay? Bharat is Bharat. So can we think from that perspective? I remember a good solid 7 years back when I started my journey, I said something like this: Mumbai will be Fintech hub of Asia. That was 7 years back, and I can tell you that the kind of feedback I got for that was really adverse. That India में कुछ हो नहीं सकता, मुंबई तो खराब है, यहाँ पे इंडिया में innovation possible नहीं है, government is not supportive, all that blah blah blah. But if you realize what happened is amazing, right? You see in India growing. If you look at payment ecosystem, we are ahead. Lending ecosystem is not spoken well enough, but it is far ahead of most of the countries. So we are at a stage where our companies, our platforms can actually move to other countries, other nations very, very easily, and they will do fabulously well. So that's my perspective, that we are ready for the world. Of course, there are opinions around which segment can go outside India, which segment will remain in India, but that's okay. I think that's not the point. So that was the intent, and the fourth thought process around digitization, and a lot of people are saying that digitalization. Look, I have done 25 years of work in this business. I don't understand the difference between two. It is notion created by some guy in US or Europe and talks about these segregations. That's nonsense, right? I think you have to do work, get the customer onboarded fast, service him well, ensure that there are no friction. That's digital for me. I don't think as anything else. But why I said this theme was very archaic name, right? Why would you do? But my belief is that now banks are learning the trick very well. They are doing amazing amount of work on their digitization. I think I spoke to a very senior guy in a bank, and he did tell me one thing very interesting. Said the difference between us and tech companies or fintechs is dramatically less, because now we have access to same technology. We're using same frameworks. So if you look at a journey with a private sector bank on digital platforms, or a public sector banks, even now public sector banks are doing well. Each one of them are launching better and better apps. And of course, it's a journey. It's not infinite, but they are going ahead. So we believe that digitization is a big theme, and India will grow dramatically there. And that means also that a lot of enterprise fintechs will also grow. Enterprise fintechs, which are TSPs, technology platforms, core banking. We need new core bankings coming up. We need new collections platform coming up. So there's a dramatic amount of work happening out there. Innovation is logical, right? I think we are done with the round one of innovation. Can you open the door, please? Both the doors, yeah. So I think innovation is a critical theme. We just need to not say that my basic stuff is keeps repeating me too. So we have tried our best to ensure in these sessions you get to, for example, today you will have tons of session on secured lending. And who's who of the country are coming there. So again, intent is to get you ideas of how they are thinking. So we have both buyer community and seller community to talk about it. So that will be great. Globalization, I think Indian fintechs, at least in enterprise fintechs, are entering US and Europe, not US and Europe, Middle East and Southeast Asia. I think that's the area we should focus on. We don't need to go beyond that immediately because that's a lot of spend. A lot of cost is incurred when you go outside these countries. But if you look at Middle East and Southeast Asia, there's amazing respect for India. So I think you just need to cater to that. And of course, inclusion is an area where nothing much has happened. We may say, बहुत कुछ हो गया है, but if the credit goes to villagers or farmers at 30% or MSMEs get at 30-35%, I think game is yet not played. Just imagine those guys are rolling off, they are creating industry. And salaried class people are only buying in consumer side. So I think if from a consumer side, can we get the money primarily to the producing side at the same rate, look at how the country will grow. Just imagine entrepreneur getting credit at the rate of 12%. And then scaling it up rather than getting 30%. So his margins go down. And that comes as either as cost to you or his business closes because he's not able to generate. Maybe he's able to generate 20%, but not 30%. So he dies, right? I think those are the things which we sort of thought we will cater to. So as I said, Bharat's Fintech Revolution, inspiring global fintech financial innovation. So everybody out there outside India, not just now, maybe even few years back also, was always talking about India. Somebody told me that Europe is on a diesel car and we are on electric car. Very, very different notion, right? And this is what I heard 6 years back when I went to Copenhagen they were talking about this thing. Whatever you guys are doing, we have not even heard and understood. They are still on plastics and I think they remain on plastics. So we spoke about these themes. You would have seen I mean, if you want to check, again, you can check out there, all the themes are aligned there so that you can actually download the brochure and all of that. I think, interestingly, it was my opening note. So yesterday we didn't get time. We tried to catch up with it, but how many of you attended RBI session? Amazingly candid. And I think personally I was very, very overwhelmed by the fact that our ED, sir, actually spent that much time interacting with you, taking questions as well, right? Which is unheard of. I can't imagine they're taking so many questions, right? Rizan, can you open all the doors because people may not even know that's running, right? We had 42 panels. If you would have attended those panels, many of you say, boss, parallel में 3 track चल रहे हैं, फिर master class चल रही है, बहुत tough है. तो ठीक है यार, JEE का exam भी tough ही होता है. Okay? So I wanted to ensure the content is built and you are as rich as it can get, right? As rich as it can get. So that's the intent. And that's what the whole objective. Accelerator program we ran because I'll be honest, we could not connect with early stage startups because we are in the same business, but we stopped connecting with them because we had nothing to offer. They couldn't afford us as a company, the real fifth. And we couldn't do anything for them. So we thought it will be good for us to get them here to present to VCs. So I think, I don't know, 16 VCs, 17 VCs came yesterday for Accelerator. And a good solid 8-9 companies presented there. I'm sure some funding will happen to them. That is amazing, right? And Accelerator, typically people take equity. We don't operate in equity because it's a deviation to the process, but that happened. Lot of fireside chats and very, very deep. 5 tracks, so as I said about it, and 258 speakers. I think we may have slightly more as well. But very interesting, normally in events, we see people as speakers coming in and going out. I met a speaker who was not a speaker yesterday from Delhi. And he says, I came because I had all the friends here. And there were so many friends there that we met. I mean, it's more like friendship day rather than anything else, right? So I think that's what happened. And of course, we will have awards at 5:15 in the evening. And we are running master classes back to back. So attend them. How many of you managed to attend the master classes as well? Useful? Yes. Yeah, okay, super. I always thought that in this whole jamboree, आपको दिखता कहाँ से है? But when I went to the rooms, I said, boss, everybody's there. So which is, we were always worried कि एक में hall में होंगे, दूसरे में नहीं होंगे. But thank you for that. I think as a form, maybe I'll also spend a minute or two on who we are, right? Not many guys. So many of you think that we are event organizers, right? This is a worry I carry that we are not event organizers. This is the only thing which we do once in a year. We wanted to be a marquee event where people get to meet in a very intimate way, not in an overwhelming way, nor do we want a scenario that we talk about subjects which are very, very frivolous. So we want to ensure that the theme of the country is changing all along, and these are the guys who will do. We can't do, the speakers will do. So I think we have been there in the journey for 7 years, and this is a very tough business. Nobody thinks that we can have in India an Indian consulting firm. We always put on our paper, every board talks about it, that we should only get some foreign brands, right? I think 75 years तो हो गए होंगे हमारी slavery को. अभी तो छोड़ देते हैं, right? I think I'm not saying it is for me, but it's actually a buying psyche. It's a buying psyche. So all of us, when we wear shoes, or we wear anything, we want a brand here, right? And brand cannot be Indian. Did you realize this? Anybody prefers Indian brands? And showing off? How many of you don't wear Nike, Adidas, and Reebok? Or Asics? Anybody wearing only Indian brands? Fantastic. In school. But I was not Indian. But anyway, so this is it. So I think the intent is to build an Indian consulting firm. We are very focused on BFSI and digital. We do nothing else. And more. How many of you have attended our training sessions? Anybody from training? Only one? Yeah, okay. Two, okay. So we trained, I think, almost 4,000 people, which is looks very low here. Our views are simple. Thought leadership is critical. People do not know what is the underlying theme, so we are trying to produce it. The sessions are around that. We also do on the ground. Interestingly, none of us are consultants. None of us are consultants. All of us are practitioners, or we hire from colleges and hire young. They work on the ground and they are not producing PPT, they actually execute. So our guys will be on the ground with the clients to do it. Voicing the system or ecosystem, so we do not try to push an agenda which is anti anything. So you wouldn't see us speaking anything around saying ye kharab ho raha hai, no PR around that. What can be constructive, what can be voiced out, what we believe. For example, our current belief is that enterprise fintechs, you will see Shashank's session in one of the places where he will talk about how enterprise fintechs are growing. So that's very, very crucial. We should talk about it. Very deep engagements is what we do on the ground. We don't put PPT and run. We are there. We'll go through the whole journey of build up, and we are there. I mean, many places, in embedded finance, we are entering there with the client even before the CEO joins. Typically, we build businesses, and then the CEOs of those embedded finance players come. Insights are obviously deep, and that's learned from all the ecosystem. Yesterday, we had dinner with CX, so everybody was giving different inputs, and we learned from that. So it's not that we know everything. That's not the point. Networking, I think, one of the learning I have is that many of you may think that I'm born from a networking perspective, that I know everybody. Not really. ज़रूरत पड़ती तो आपको सीखना ही पड़ता है, right? You have to learn. Networking is very, very crucial. So I think I'm very happy that this event is largely a network thing. We've not got any agency to pull off this off, nothing else, no PR agency to do this. It's one-on-one calls, and all of them are our friends, and that's how we operate. And one critical part is frugality. When we operate, and this is my biggest risk or learning of the life, I have screwed up on few implementation worldwide. And I'm being very honest, a lot of scars on my back of doing it. And those scars were that what should have been maybe a 10 million project becomes 200 million projects because we throw too many people at it, and it's bound to fail, right? So over projections, ये डालने से ये हो जाएगा, वो डालने से हो जाएगा. We think that frugality digital में इतना expense नहीं होता. And if I look at it, largest of players actually don't spend that much of money. But who spends do not get returns because they think that if you spend more, you will get it. Technically, you don't get it. You only get issues with it. So I think frugality is critical for digital. Digital is technically not expensive if done properly, and that's what we do. Digital marketing is still be expensive, but not the tech side. It is still frugal. What we do, I think we do a lot of advisory service in the market, a lot of partnerships. If you are a fintech or any of the embedded finance side, we start with compliance first. So a lot of people are extremely irritated when we come on board. We typically slow down a fintech, and we start with saying, "Pehle ye kar lete hain." Ensure that data privacy controls, regulations are done before we do that. And of course, research is something you would have seen. So you would have seen some reports coming out from outside. How many of you have read our reports? Some of you, right? You can pick it up. All reports are free. We've not tried any paid report till date. Not at all. Not at all. So it's available online. Our research or training content is there. Everything is, even these sessions are available, will be made available on YouTube free. So all content is always 100% free. Not a single point of time you see us charging for it. Regulated entity, I think from a strategy for a lot of entities, vendor assessment, so which RFPs to be run, program management, security, investors ke liye we do DD, due diligence, and sort of investee companies identification, all of that. So that's our core business as such. Event se hum paisa nahi banate. So let me be honest, that somebody has to take care of bread and butter. This is bread and butter. These are some of the engagement we have done. We work on products, we work on roadmap, API management. A lot of people use us for API management strategies and all. API management still takes a full benchmarking, full strategy, because mobile banking people do, but APIs they don't do a strategy around that. How do you do partnership without knowing where you need partnerships? What stacks? I have 600 APIs is of a no use statement. If somebody says I have 600 APIs, it's of no use. What purposes you have it full is important, and where it has been used. Do you have real customers for it? Otherwise, you take system up, you will have some APIs any which way, right? Not usable for sure at times. Banks के लिए हम बहुत करते हैं काम. So that's the area where I have already worked, always worked. And then of course we work a lot on business strategies and kind of stuff, right? Yes, some of customers, no push, no nothing else, but tons of customers who have been working with us. I'm so happy that they have been trusting us all the while, because again, when we took the first bank in, they didn't know we will deliver, and we picked up and we started working on it. So there's a lot of players out there where we worked. We do a lot of trainings, corporate trainings out there. So in corporate trainings, I think we created curated content and all of that. So again, very deep. You didn't get a chance potentially to go through our master classes because here we didn't get so much time actually. But maybe we'll do more webinars and all. How many of you have attended our webinars? Anybody from webinars? Yeah, some of you have attended. So I think our intent is again to take it deep, not to keep it at a higher level. I think we spoke about it. Slowly we are growing all the journey. I was alone on day one, so just maybe we'll take a session separately some point in time, how to be frugal in your business. So we still work out of co-working space. We still take care of all the basics correctly, and we still do not stay in 5 stars. So intent is to ensure that we are frugal so that we are able to survive, because capital you get is the investment next year. So capital is precious is what my boss taught me. And then Srikanth, you would have seen. How many of you met Srikanth in the day? He is the guy who's running the show, not visible here. I don't think he has taken a single session. He's our mastermind behind this. He runs the whole partnership and training. Can you get water, please? Yes, can I get water, please? Then, of course, we grew to 5. Now we are almost 35 members strong. And we are trying to, again, scale up. Scale up from here as we go forward, yeah. So this is the intent. Yeah, and intent obviously is over a period of time is homegrown large consulting firm, very respected. Consulting in digital finance, we should be the largest over a period of time. And of course, work outside India as well. But this is not an immediate version. It'll take good solid maybe 7-8 years to happen, right? So guys, we are not event organizers. Don't come back and saying, can you organize some events for us? That's not us. That's not us at all, yeah? That's it. So with this, we pause for a moment. I want to take a feedback on the sessions as well. Anything which you think, next one. Anything which you think we would be missing out, any feedback on the event till now will be great for us. We'll pick it up from there. And we will quickly then move to how the workforce is going to get created over a period of time. And we will figure this out, right? So what's the time? I'm a bit of lost on time. So next session will start in 15 minutes, right? Now, yeah, okay. Perfios team is there? Yes. Shall we start? Yeah. Okay, sure. So we'll stop now, but I'll come back and talk about workforce in maybe next session. Typically, event, the buffers are organizers' time, right? So we'll take that buffer and we'll start with the actual session from the team, and then I'll talk a bit on this side, which is more focused on workforces, what the roles are going to come down, what are going to go up. But with this, I pause now. Over to you, Vinny. Over to you.